Fluid coding and AI here. Mistral Small 4 is called small, but the interesting part is not that it is tiny. It is a 119 billion parameter open-weight model trying to cover coding, vision, long context, and deeper reasoning in one place. That makes the real question simple. Does consolidation actually help developers? The pitch is attractive because most AI stacks already have a routing problem. One model for normal chat, another for code, another for screenshots and documents, another for hard reasoning. Mistral says, Small 4 brings those jobs together: instruction following, coding workflows, multimodal input, tool calling, structured output, and a reasoning mode you can turn on only when the task needs it. Under the hood, Small 4 is a mixture of experts model with 108 experts and 4 active experts per token. Mistral and Hugging Face describe it as 109 billion total parameters, with about 6.5 billion active parameters per token. That distinction matters. The small name is about active compute and product tiering, not a model you casually run on a laptop. The practical feature list is broad. Mistral documents a 256,000 token context window, text and image input, text output, function calling, structured outputs, document question answering, optical character recognition workflows, agents and conversations, built-in tools, and fill-in-the-middle coding support. For developers, that means the model is not just a chatbot. It is positioned as a component inside applications and coding systems. The most interesting control surface is reasoning effort. In documented serving paths, you can ask for fast instruct-style behavior with reasoning turned off or deeper reasoning with high effort. That is a useful product idea. You do not want every request to think hard. You want a quick response for simple edits, and a more deliberate response for debugging, planning, or multi-step analysis. For coding, the story is not Small 4 is automatically the best coding model. The source backstory is narrower. Mistral positions it for agentic coding, code-based exploration, fill-in-the-middle, structured outputs, and tool calls. That combination is useful for coding agents because the model can read long context, inspect visual inputs, return structured plans, and call tools instead of only producing a block of text. The vision angle is equally practical. Small 4 accepts image inputs and is positioned for document parsing, visual analysis, and document question answering. That matters if your workflow mixes screenshots, PDFs, charts, logs, and code. A model that can inspect an error screenshot, reason about the likely cause, and return a structured next step is more valuable than a model that only chats well. Availability is one of the stronger parts of the release. The model is listed for Mistral's own API and AI Studio, Hugging Face weights, OpenRouter, NVIDIA-related deployment paths, and open serving stacks such as SGLang. OpenRouter lists the model at 15 cents per million input tokens and 60 cents per million output tokens, with roughly 262,000 tokens of context. Open weights do not remove infrastructure math. SGLang's deployment notes describe an FP8 route at roughly 11.9 gigabytes and an NVFP4 route around 60 gigabytes with Blackwell-specific notes. Hugging Face's collection also flags that the NVFP4 checkpoint can improve throughput and reduce memory, but may lower long context performance. That is the real trade, control, and cost flexibility, but not frictionless local deployment. The benchmark evidence needs careful handling. Mistral claims a 40% reduction in end-to-end completion time and 3 times more requests per second versus Mistral Small, 3 in specific optimized setups. Hugging Face metadata lists a 71.2 GPQA diamond result, and Mistral's accessible text highlights output efficiency on reasoning and coding comparisons. Those are useful signals, but they are not the same as broad independent proof. There is also a local benchmark report in this workspace, but it is not a Small 4 result. It is for the older Mistral Small 24B Instruct 2001 model, routed through OpenRouter. On that suite, the older model scored 699 out of 2072 overall, with every coding case marked failed and quantitative reasoning at 0 out of 12. That is a warning about older Small 3 performance here, not a verdict on Small 4. The counterpoint is simple. Unified does not mean best at everything. VentureBeat reports that Mistral's own chart had Qwen models ahead on Live Codebench, and Claude Haiku ahead in Instruct mode on that chart. So the smart interpretation is not that Small 4 replaces every specialist. It is that it may reduce model switching for teams that value open weights, long context, vision, tools, and reasonable serving economics. My practical verdict, Mistral Small 4 is worth testing if you are building an AI system that mixes code, documents, screenshots, long context, tool calls, and occasional deeper reasoning. It is less compelling if your only goal is the top score on one specialized coding or math benchmark, or if you expect easy consumer hardware deployment. The strongest reason to care is workflow simplification, not benchmark dominance. If you are evaluating Mistral Small 4, test the whole workflow, not just one prompt. Check latency, answer length, tool calls, vision, reasoning mode, and deployment costs together. Like the video if this helped, and subscribe to Fluid Coding and AI for more practical model reviews.